Welcome back to another episode of Meaningful Topics for Golf, a podcast where we dive into better conversations, stronger connections, and the lessons golf teaches us both on and off the course.
All the good stuff coming out now and the camera's off, huh?
I know, right? Well, that one's actually still on.
Oh no! A true glimpse into your soul! Turn it off!
I'm here with Speed Golf Rob and Big Bag Bob today. They're in Phoenix, Arizona, and they just performed at Bel Air Golf Park their Maru World Tour. So I got the t-shirt and lots of stories to tell. The content from that, a lot of content is actually going to be on Speed Golf Rob's page as well as the Bel Air Golf Park page. So you can check out clips from that, but make sure that you find out where the next Maru World Tour is going to be and get tickets for yourself to see it live.
Augusta, Georgia.
Exactly. That's the next one. So definitely go to Augusta. If there wasn't a reason enough to go, definitely go see Speed Golf Rob there too. But thank you guys for being on the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having us here at Bel Air.
Yeah,
Last few
absolutely.
days.
I know.
Thanks for wearing a t-shirt.
Yes, no, we're happy to have you here. It's been so fun and the community loves having you out here. And I love that we get a chance to talk a little bit more about the back end of the Speed Golf Rob account. And would you call it a persona or this journey that you've been on with content creation and social media?
I don't know or call it anything, but if you call it a persona, that's all right.
Maybe I'll just call it Speed Golf Rob and we'll know it's your character, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I want to dive a little bit more into that today because this podcast is about the relationships and the conversations that happen on the golf course through golf, and then even outside of that too. And I know we met because you replied to my DM when I was in Ireland, and I'm like, I knew you were there, obviously, because you post quite a bit of your adventures on golf courses in Ireland, and you replied and said, "Yeah, come play. We'll play some speed golf."
And we had a mutual buddy, Stephanie.
Yes, Stephanie Valentine. Yes, shout out to
cool,
Stephanie. So. Exactly, she's a huge fan. She calls you her internet BFF. So
absolutely, yeah. You enjoyed meeting Stephanie in person. Yes. A couple of days ago as well.
Exactly.
And it was a great thrill to have you in Mulranny.
Yes, I loved it.
Thanks for coming to Mulranny, yeah.
Oh, no, thank you for having me. The course behind your house was just amazing, and it was such a unique experience for me. First time doing speed golf for me as well. So I will try it again when it's not raining like it was then.
Was it raining? I didn't notice.
Well, maybe not rain for you, but it felt like rain for me.
Right.
If you haven't noticed, it's a little dry out here in Phoenix.
Yeah, so. It's cool. Yeah, we're loving it, yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun. So very unique experience and really grateful for those friendships. And it's so fun that you got to build a relationship with Stephanie online and then meet her in person like years later almost. It was last summer, I guess, that we met. So I've really seen how golf has grown through social media as a whole, and just the access to people that we're able to network a little bit easier that way. And so let me think about where I'm going with that. That's why I do a lot of editing for this podcast. But on that note, I think it's unique how we can across the world connect through social media, but I want to dive more into what you've seen through this transformation of Speed Golf Rob and your content creation with that multiple accounts, websites, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I've seen you everywhere, actually.
Okay, this is serious stuff. I love it.
Yes.
Let's go serious.
Yeah, please. I'm going to dive right into it if you want to.
Dive deep in, yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. Please do. Well, maybe before we dive deep, do you both want to give a quick introduction about who you are as Rob Hogan? And no, you don't. You want to dive right in? All right.
Bob, you got the room, buddy. Maru J!
I know. I'm like, there's plenty of other podcasts where you talk about your speed golf experiences. So I'm going to dive more into the relationship behind this and how you've come to now Phoenix, Arizona, with Rob as well.
This guy was more of a nemesis. When we first grew up, we were playing for Euros and Pro Vs and.
Were there Pro Vs at that time? Balata 100s maybe?
Possibly. And they were
being pedantic now, but
yeah, that's how it all started. Really, we started.
Being pedantic, yeah, that's right.
there's a week in the difference of our age. When we're a week older than Rob, we both got a membership for our 12th birthday in Cultura Golf Club.
Okay.
And I think we were kind of rivals for a lot of time. We were
really.
There was a great friendship there, but
yeah.
I was a little bit better than Rob starting out, but he fairly caught up fast.
Well, I suppose
golf did. You're talking about the social media bringing people together through golf
both.
and through the internet.
Yeah.
But golf definitely brought us together.
Absolutely.
And considering how polar our way of thinking is and our personalities are, if golf hadn't forced us to spend so much time together, we probably wouldn't have become such close friends.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
It's
Or
really...
maybe it's terrible, but I think it's pretty cool.
No, no, I think it's cool. I think that's why, yeah,
It's
exactly,
true.
exactly.
I think it's true, yeah.
Absolutely. And then that's where we bring in, I love seeing the diversity within golf because of that exact same thing. Golf brings you together. I mean, you're kind of forced to get to know someone on the round, even if you're paired randomly with them.
Well, that's it. It's all down to, competition as well. You want to be, it's great to get friendships out there, but when you're 12, 13, 14, 15 years of age, you just want to keep winning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so true.
It is one of the beauties of the game, though, spending time with people.
Yeah,
and we could go out there and play a round of golf, and we mightn't run in 26 minutes. Mm-hmm. Look at me! I just played in 26 minutes. We play in 3 hours, but it'd be an easy way to spend time together. We wouldn't have to jabber the whole time.
No, exactly.
There's no problem jabbering for 30 minutes here, but out there, free and easy way of spending time together. It's nice, isn't it?
Yes. And even running for 26 minutes. Like, we ran for 8 for 3
that's a
holes,
bonding
right?
experience
Like, it's
as well,
bonding
isn't it?
experience.
Yeah,
It's
for
almost
sure,
a little bit traumatic, like a stress bond.
I
mean, if you're in my case. I know. For you, you're an expert on it. I was like dying, but I really enjoyed it. And that was a fun experience. It was fun to have my husband too chasing me, yelling at me to go faster. So it was good.
That was cool.
Yeah, it is good. It was so nice on that trip too to meet your wife too and see a little bit more about you and your community and where you live.
Yeah, we had fermented nettle.
We did.
And the hot whiskey.
That was good, the hot whiskey. I know, I tell people, I was like, well, I thought it was going to be hot tea and turned out to be hot whiskey, but that's fine. And when in Ireland,
I'm pretty
right?
sure we told you it was hot whiskey, just to let you know, yeah. But that might, if our memories are different, but that's how I remember it. But
Fantastic, I love
told me that was a big bottle of tea. It's not like that at all.
I've been drinking a lot more
It's a
than
rare
that.
occasional hot whiskey.
That was fantastic. And then I love how when you came out here, you said you wanted some fermented cactus, which I think we might have somewhere, but we got to look into that. Yeah, I don't want to poison anybody.
I think Brooks brought up the fermented cactus, but I was definitely a lot for it.
Yeah, he's very crafty like that. He loves it. He tells everybody about fermented nettles now. We learned a lot about nettles. They're just in your backyard.
They're everywhere, yeah. They say in Ireland, wherever there's loads of nettles, there's gold somewhere near underground. I don't know about that, but in my experience, the stinging nettle, myself and my wife Ruth eat a lot of stinging nettle. In my experience, it's a superfood, a free superfood that's growing in your garden.
Yeah. See, and I learned so much about nettles because we play golf together. You just never know what information you're going to get.
And my wife Ruth really enjoyed hanging out with you guys as well. And that was all through the conduit of golf.
The conduit of golf. It's really good. You put that on the shirt, actually. Yeah. Well, let's dive more into then your community. So that transformation, you guys obviously are friends now, and now you're traveling with Rob and doing the Merch World Tour together.
Yep.
How have you seen that with your friendships and family as your page has kind of grown and you've gotten to be known as Speak Off Rob?
I think he's quite modest. He doesn't realise how modest he is.
No, I just pretend to be modest, so then you keep complimenting me.
That's okay.
See that?
Now we give you up. That's the last one we're going to get now. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, now he knows.
But yeah, it's great. Like everybody in Ireland loves him as well. You know, I mean, a lot of people don't know him as Rob Hogan. And even down to Speak Off Rob, they don't know him as Speak Off Rob. But when you mention Maru,
Maru.
you go, oh yeah, that guy, yeah. So
it's quite surprising. People have reacted really positively in the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's another thing that I've noticed, that everybody's positive.
Mm-hmm.
Just very positive.
It's been
really
so
amazing.
You see everybody out there, and there's always somebody who has something negative to say. It was very hard to find somebody to say something negative about Rob.
Yeah.
And I think it's down to the person, not the character, not the whatever. It's the package, you know what I mean? He's a good, decent human, and everybody can see that. You know,
We're all good. Maybe we're all good, decent people.
maybe so.
I'm not saying I'm I don't know. It's just been very positive for whatever reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think
Not
they,
good,
I mean, you're genuine. I think they appreciate that.
Yeah.
You really just own it.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to like have to do some and then have to do others and seem fake. I think people really respect the fact that you're out there 100% doing
Yeah, I
merch.
think that's the case, and thanks. Yeah.
How did merch come to be?
So my background was golf. You heard this on Friday night. Golf, speed golf, all the time coaching, and then speed golf was bumbling along, and I was in New Zealand on the tour, relentlessly on the tour. And my wife Ruth was at home with 5 children. And we had moved house. And with 5 children, she had moved house on her own with the 5 kids. And she was in her new house. And she said, we have to have a chat about this. And I was saying, geez, we do. Like, this is crazy. This is mad.
Yeah.
So I became a farmer.
Nettles. No.
Everyone's a nettle farmer. You're a nettle
I
farmer.
guess so. Yeah, I gotta look for him though.
So I said, okay, I'm still going to be a speed golfer. I'm still going to be a coach. But I'm going to go over here and farm. And I'm going to farm with the lads. And the best lads. And the hardest work. First bit of hard work I've done in my life. And working 10 hours a day, 70 hours a week. And I was coming back and forth over the mountain to the farm. Of course, what's happening? Because I love golf, I'm thinking about golf the whole time. Right? But the golf industry, it's like I'm going to go farming. The golf industry, I love the golf industry, but it can satellite around me. I'm not going to control it.
Yeah.
So therefore, all of the last 20 years start coming back through me. All of my ideas through me. The new eyes from speed golf through me. And then on the mountain, with the time to think, I found a clarity to express myself then. And that's the derivative of me sharing my golf philosophy that you're seeing, that you're watching. And then, of course, what happens then? The golf industry. Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back! And here I am.
Here you are. Yeah, so that's how it was born. The merch character just came out of the desire to come back to the golf industry.
No.
It all came out, oh no.
So, excuse me. No, but as you see, I wrote a book.
Yes.
So my writing style is such that if you read one of my sentences, it could mean a million different things.
It's true.
So actually, when you say it was my desire
Yeah.
to come back, maybe you're right. Different interpretation. My interpretation was there was no desire. I was just doing my thing,
Yeah.
and the thoughts were coming through me, and coming, and then
It just happened.
I guess
Yeah. And it's who you are. Maybe it wasn't following a desire, it was just owning.
I had the space to think. I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. That's huge.
Clear.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing.
Encourage everybody to do that.
And I was up on the mountain, and I had to raise the voice to get the sound into the phone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah,
It felt right.
it just was it was just simply to get the idea across. Yeah, that's it.
Had you seen that side of Rob come out when you competed against him growing up, and you seen him yell and get to that degree of excited?
I was kind of the one that was yelling on the golf course most often. I fell temper, but yeah, a lot of people said it held me back. But anyway, it was more, I would say back then, if we were to say there was somebody going to end up shouting and roaring about golf, most people would have said it would be me.
That's great.
But yeah, like Rob was always a little bit out on his own. He always had different ideas and very educated in golf as well. educated himself widely in golf.
Yeah.
And it shone through. A lot of people who I'm friends with would always comment on Rob's golf, even growing up, even down to my dad. We were driving out of Kilcool one day, and I always remember this because it made me so jealous, so jealous. We were driving out, and you were at the left-hand side as you were looking at the driving or the area, practice area, and you were dropping balls beside the big pampas grass thing and stepping on them and hitting flop shots out of the thing. And I was driving home to go and get my dinner lunch.
Yeah.
And my dad says, like, he's going to be better than a lot of yous. And I'm just like, what? I always beat him. What are you talking about? And he goes, I'm telling you now. He says, he's going to be better than all of you. And within, I'd say, a couple of years, we were down to 1 or 2, and we were all still floating around 7, 8, 9, 5, whatever. And he just overtook us all. So I think the determination and the...
I'd probably hit 20 times the amount of balls you do.
Easily. That's what I see of him back then.
Yeah.
The kind of person he's become now is not the person that I knew back then, but I know the person that's still there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, even talking to you guys before, you have so many stories.
Yeah.
You know, just sticking through that time and those experiences together really does hold a friendship together, even through changes in personality and the experiences and things. Yeah. It's funny when you said you were in the car with your dad and he was watching Rob. I knew exactly what your dad was going to say. And I think most of us who have a parent who's like, you know, pushing them to do really well, you know, they have that pressure of that encouragement. Yeah. I'm curious, Rob, do your kids play golf? Are you trying to get them into golf?
Well, we live right beside the golf course, so they smack the ball. Yeah. All totally informal, and the opportunity is certainly there. So.
Do they pull out their own Maru character?
They love getting involved and having a crack like that. And on that, my favourite reference for that is Earl Woods, who said that he never once asked Tiger to come to the course with him. Tiger always asked Earl, could he go to the course with Earl? Yeah, I think that's pretty important.
That's really important. Yeah, exactly. Because you don't want them to burn out from that, you know? Yeah,
that's
or feel like you have to.
That's resonating with you, isn't it?
Every time I do this podcast, I'm the one that ends up sort of questioning. It's so funny. But no, it's true. Yeah, I did get burnt out from college golf. And probably before I even finished college golf because of that. And then now, through relationships, is what I've fallen back in love with the sport again. It's not about the score. It's not about the number. You know, it's about the experiences.
Yeah, that's cool. And if it's about as I was saying last night, if it's about the golf, the affirmation of good shot. When you're trying to play professionally at a high level, every shot is expected to be a good shot within reason, and a bad shot is met with and the trophies are harder to win. So sometimes, sometimes the standard can be creeping up, but it appears to you like you're staying the same, and then relative to your expectations, it seems like you're going backwards. Yeah. So that could drive you mad, unless there's other things, relationships, smelling the flowers, even just the sensuous feeling of hitting the club on the ball on the club. If those are pleasures in themselves, well, they can carry you through to the next phase and the next phase. With kids, do loads of stuff if you want. If you want to just play golf, fine. But if there's things that I might want to keep doing, swimming, just for random example, or I might want to keep doing chess or drawing or whatever, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll focus on golf. Just do everything that you want to do and drawn to do for the kids, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's so good. That following that desire there. And
that'd be my opinion on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's with life too, right? You hit a speed bump or a bad shot, and then you have to ground yourself in some way. Come back, smell the flowers, take a minute to breathe, take a break, and then you come back refreshed. With traveling, with having Speak Off Rob, having instruction still, and competing some, you're juggling a lot, right? That takes some organization, and I've been able to experience that side of it. As we got you over here and stuff, you're very organized, and I really appreciate that. But
hold on a second, did you say I'm very organized? What kind of podcast is this? Thank you.
I'm sharing all
You're
the
the first
secrets.
person ever to say that.
I'm sharing a secret.
Hold on a second.
Wait a minute, it's Bob. Is it? Is it Bob?
Hold on a second. Mariah, oh my God, thank you. I'm nearly brought to tears.
I think so. I mean, it was really easy to organize things. Don't cry. Notes.
I mean, we could cry. You're the first person to cry on the podcast, so that's good. Okay, I feel like we put a note there.
Did you hear that, Maru? Jay! Very organised. Okay, come on.
So
Hold on there, hold on.
Bob is
Sorry,
free.
very organised. Come on. Oh, yes! Okay, so what's the question, yeah?
He's
We
organised.
established something. There's a premise. I'm very organised. Next one.
Moving on.
What's the question?
I see this over share all the secrets about Rob. Meanwhile, Bob's over there crying, biting his tongue.
I'm okay.
This is what
Oh, you're this way.
There's a parallel here, yeah. With the former story. So it's injustice, isn't that what it is?
Oh no.
I've suffered injustice here.
No, you're doing.
I'm actually not his friend at all. This is employed to get back. I'm biding my time for the last 25 years.
He pays you to run his schedule.
That's
and yeah.
actually true, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable
The
with
day-
the jungle!
Yeah.
I was in Bandon Dunes playing in the Speak Off World Championships 2014. There was an Olympian playing, my I'd like to call him my buddy, I hope he agrees. He was a two-time silver medalist, Nick Willis, New Zealand. Ran a 4-minute mile every year for 20 years. After the run, I said, man, come on, we'll do a cool down jog. We go for a run. He goes, I'm going to the 13th, I lost my Pro V1 and they're rough. I said, all right, cool, we'll have a look for the ball. 5 minutes pass, 10 minutes pass, 15 minutes pass. He could not let go of his Pro V1. I'm looking at Nick. And I'm comparing Bob and Nick Willis, the Olympian, just so you know. As I'm saying, I'm learning something about the Olympic athlete here. The dogged competitor. He will not let go. And I said, Nick, the head fell off my 7-iron on the 11. I wasn't going to bother get after it, but I'm inspired by you, Maru. I'm going to go get it. So we go over, we easily find the 7-iron just lying there.
The whole time.
And that's it. So I don't know what that means. Make up your own.
That's good, yeah.
But I gave it to him. And I said, this is for you, Nick. And he said, he's going to make a trophy out of it. Nick! I'm watching you, Marucci!
Yeah, thank you, Nick. We're inspiring us all.
Nick Willis,
really.
yeah, amazing, yeah.
That is amazing. Yeah, you went so much.
Oh yeah, he was there in 2013. Yeah, Bernard Lagat, who probably lived or lives in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Oh yeah, that's a great place to train for running.
Maybe the top 3 or 4 mile runners of all time was playing Speak Off with us in 2013. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Well, we gotta get Speak Off to grow. First off, I need to work it. Well, I guess that starts with me, huh? I'm gonna sign up.
Well, we're gonna get it to grow by having you continue, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's one person at a time.
Yeah.
You know, the formalized Speak Off started in San Diego in the late 80s, and John Bell and then Jay Larson, Bob Babbitt, and they started doing events like sponsors, okay, and they advertise it. They were oversubscribed at first, mostly from the running community in San Diego, right? 100 people. They were oversubscribed. They ran the event. The runners realised they couldn't compete about the golf because time plus score really suits the golfer. The runners went away, making it very niche. I believe that was a junction in history that I'm about to revisit because I'm going to make it not time plus score, but a different format. It's time only, but a double bogey or worse is plus 1 minute. A birdie or better is minus 1 minute. The true equity is here now. I'm looking at you, Nick Willis. I'm looking at 100 becoming 1,000, becoming 100,000.
That sounds great.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I think that's good. All right. I think that's a good point to actually end the podcast.
If you wanna go down the rabbit hole of the history of Speak Off, I've written a book about it.
Exactly. That helps about your book.
I realised I'd met literally all the characters through Speak Off history, interviewed them, and all the new players, and I'd be the only person who was in contact with all of them. And I'd spent 20 years thinking about it, and I said, I've got, I don't want to be like saying uppity, but it's almost like I'm the only person to do this. I have to write a book, the history and through my experience. And I kept trying to write the book. I'd write 10,000 words and stop for a month and come back and look at it, and I said, who wrote that? I don't recognise that person. And then one day I remember I was on the 11th tee in Dundrum House. I said, what am I going to do with my life? I'm going to be a YouTuber. But the amount of work, the editing and the this and the that, I said, geez, I might as well just write a book. So I spent 3 months. I stayed up all day, all night, and I wrote the book. And I haven't touched my laptop since. And I'm never going to write another book. And that's the book.
You did it once.
It's called Speed Golf, A Brief History of Time Plus Score. And it's available on Amazon or on my website, speedgolfrob.com.
Right, it's very good too. I have a copy of it. So I really recommend checking out all the pleasure platforms, the books, the YouTube, TikToks, you're on Twitter as well, and the Instagram. We'll put the links below so you can follow Speak Off Rob. And now you can see him live, Maru World Tour in Augusta, Georgia. I'll be there. That's
Looking
planned.
forward to having you there. Thanks again. That's amazing.
Thank you. It's great.
And Big Bad Bob will be there.
Yes, of course. I mean, how else is Rob going to get there? The Bob's not there.
I
We
don't know.
found out.
You don't do that
Chapter in their
chapter.
head real quick, didn't it?
Kind of like that, you know. Do you stay in character the whole time during your shows? Well, maybe you can think about that.
I think it's just, I think the switch is passion.
Yeah.
I believe just from spending the time with you, I don't know whether it's true or not.
Okay.
It's like when you really love something, you just go back.
Well, my wife Ruth said that it's always like just below the surface. And I suppose genuinely because I was on the mountain and genuinely the wind was blowing and genuinely there's no one within 20 miles of me,
Yeah.
I was able to express myself. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, actually maybe that's how I wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then it's like, so you do that all the time, and then you're like, then there's people there, and it's like, hold on a sec. But then there's the other thing where people are like, hey, come on, shout at me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, that's not really how it works.
Yeah.
I want to, we all want to please each other, I kind of want to please you, but not really feeling the vibe of just shouting at you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just
No.
social dynamics that everyone figures out. But,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah. You know. I mean, I think everybody.
all the good
hopefully
stuff
can
coming
find
in now
that.
and the camera's off, huh?
I know, right? Well,
Is there
that one's
no-
actually still on.
Oh no! A true glimpse into your soul! Turn it off!
I'll turn it. I'm sorry. I'll turn it off. Sharing on the
No, I'm only joking.
I think one of the greatest of the insights was
I didn't know. I
No, you
forgot.
start the episode of that.
Yeah.
Let me sue you!
I'll turn it off.
Sue me, Rob! He won't open his laptop anyway.
Not in the crying bit when you were just crying. Oh, jeez. This is fun. What were you saying, Bob?
It was great back the day we went playing par 3 with Lucas, and he was
Oh, man.
he was so kind
See,
of
that's an interesting point.
yeah. But it was you turned into what you wanted to be when Lucas started playing well and had fun with his son.
Yeah.
Like my son was what 6, maybe
Yeah,
7,
Aw. Yeah.
6 or 7. And
But then by the end he wouldn't hit a shot unless I
Yeah.
It's
He literally, he remember we played the game. He actually kept me in it, like.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, I played really well on a little par 3 course,
Yeah.
and we said, oh, well, Rob's going to play with Lucas, but Lucas, we gave him a couple of shots, and he kept getting 4s on par 3s consistently. He had a run of 5 or 6 4s, and he was only
That's
like the holes were 80, 90 yards, so it was impressive.
Yeah.
But he was holding putts because Rob was like, right, I'm going to give you, come on, and he was literally looking at him like this, waiting on him.
Yeah, and then,
It's so
and
good.
then last couple of holes I was kind of feeling a bit more chill.
Yeah.
He was like, if I hold this putter,
He was asking him.
What's gonna happen if I hold it?
He was like, will you shout at me? You know? It was great.
But that's the paradox of life, isn't it? That
Yeah.
exact thing there. You gotta keep rolling with the punches, man.
Yeah. And being passionate about what you love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing about your passions too.
That was great.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was the best.
That was the best.